It's not always the noise of the city that keeps us awake at night. Sometimes it's the echo inside our own minds, that quiet, relentless hum that rises when everything else falls silent. Thoughts loop endlessly, fears replay like old songs, and the smallest worries grow into storms. There's a certain kind of silence that isn't peaceful at all, a silence that roars. And in that soundless chaos, we begin to confront the truth we often avoid. We are afraid, not only of failure or pain, but of the one thing that visits every life change. Why does change unsettle us so deeply? And why do we cling so fiercely to what cannot stay? The answers are simple and yet infinitely complex. We fear change because we crave safety, and we crave safety because we have loved. Love attaches us to people, moments, dreams, and every attachment holds a shadow, the fear of loss. Understanding this doesn't make us immune to it, but it gives us a doorway to peace. When we see that love and impermanence are woven together, we start to live with softer hands, holding the world gently instead of trying to keep it still. There are nights when you can feel the weight of your own thoughts pressing against your ribs, the heart racing though nothing's wrong, the mind sprinting through every possible what if. Those are the moments when fear tries to disguise itself as logic. You imagine disasters, rejections, endings. You try to plan your way out of uncertainty. But peace doesn't come from planning, it comes from presence. So, if these words find you tonight, take a slow breath, unclench your jaw, and allow yourself a pause. And if this reflection speaks to your heart, remember to like, subscribe, and share it, because someone else might be lying awake right now, searching for this same calm. From the dawn of humanity, fear has been our guardian. It kept us alive when danger lurked beyond the firelight. But as the world changed, our fears didn't vanish, they evolved. They turned inward. The tiger became an unanswered message. The storm became an uncertain future. The same instinct that once saved us now keeps us trapped in invisible battles. Our bodies tighten, our hearts race, our minds spiral, not from survival, but from the illusion of control slipping away. Control. That's the word that quietly governs so much of our suffering. We want to predict, contain, and guarantee life. We plan every hour, build routines, and cling to order. But no matter how perfectly we arrange the pieces, life always rearranges them. Trying to hold on to what is meant to move is like grasping smoke. The tighter we clutch, the faster it fades. Peace doesn't arrive when life stops changing. It appears when we stop demanding that it should. Ancient wisdom has always whispered this truth. The Buddha called it anicca, impermanence, the heartbeat of existence. Everything that arises must also pass away. The sunrise gives way to dusk, joy gives way to sorrow, and sorrow softens back into joy. Our suffering, he taught, doesn't come from the change itself, but from our refusal to move with it. When we resist the natural rhythm of life, we build walls against the tide. And yet the tide doesn't stop, it simply teaches us, wave by wave, to let go. Science now echoes what the sages once knew. Every atom in your body is in motion. Every cell dies and renews. The stars that burn today will one day scatter into dust. Nothing stands still, not even for a heartbeat. You are not the same person who woke up this morning, and that truth, once frightening, can become your freedom, because if nothing stays the same, then neither does pain. The storm will pass, as every storm has. The heart will heal, as every heart does when given the grace of time. Letting go doesn't mean indifference. It means caring without clutching. It's not the cold act of giving up, but the warm act of trust. To let go is to love wisely, to hold what matters without chaining it to your expectations. The Buddha compared attachment to grasping a burning coal. The longer you hold it, the more you suffer. To drop it is not weakness, it's awakening. The fire still burns, but it no longer burns you. We live in an age that confuses control with peace. We schedule every minute, track every step, plan every dream. Yet the tighter we grip our lives, the less alive we feel. Real peace isn't built from predictability. It blooms from acceptance. The ocean doesn't resist its waves, and the sky doesn't cling to its clouds. Why should we? The art of living isn't about mastering the current, but learning how to float upon it. Worry thrives in the space between what we know and what we can't control. It whispers that something might go wrong, that we must prepare for every outcome. But the truth is, most of what we fear never comes to pass. The storms we imagine dissolve before they arrive. Still, we spend nights awake rehearsing tragedies that never take the stage. The mind believes it's keeping us safe, but all it's really doing is stealing the peace of now. Mindfulness begins the moment we notice that when we realize we are lost in thought and gently return to the breath, the heartbeat, the hum of the present moment. The Buddha called this awareness sati, the foundation of freedom. To be mindful is to wake up, to see clearly that thoughts are just clouds drifting through a vast sky. They don't define the sky, they only pass through it. You too are not your fear. You are the awareness watching it. Through practice, we learn that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Pain is the first arrow, the experience itself. Suffering is the second, the story we tell about it. We get struck twice because we resist what already is. Letting go is removing that second arrow. It's saying, this hurts, but I won't make it worse by fighting reality. In that surrender, peace quietly enters. Wisdom often begins with a simple question. Is this worth my peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. The great teacher Shantideva once said, if a problem can be solved, why worry? If it cannot, what good does worry do? This isn't denial, it's discernment. When we see clearly what we can and cannot change, we start to live differently, lighter, calmer, freer. Compassion naturally follows, because when we stop being trapped inside our own fears, we notice the fears of others. We see that every human being is walking the same trembling path, loving, losing, beginning again. The act of wishing peace for others softens our own pain. When we hope others find calm, our own heart begins to heal. The Buddha taught metta, or loving kindness, not as a moral duty but as medicine. To wish peace upon another is to taste it yourself. So what does letting go actually look like in daily life? It's not dramatic, it's quiet, like a breath between thoughts. It looks like saying goodbye without resentment, like trusting the timing of your life, like caring deeply but knowing when to release. It's choosing presence over perfection. When worry returns, as it always does, you take a deep breath and remind yourself, this moment too shall pass. The more we practice this gentle release, the more we awaken. Letting go is not about floating away from life, but flowing with it. We stop resisting the current and start becoming part of it. We realize that peace isn't somewhere we reach, it's something we remember. It was always there, beneath the noise, beneath the fear. And perhaps that's the true meaning of awakening, not escaping the world, but finally belonging to it. Seeing impermanence not as tragedy, but as beauty. Every ending makes way for a beginning. Every falling leaf feeds new roots. The sun sets only to rise again. Life doesn't take, it transforms. When we live with that awareness, time feels different. Each day becomes sacred. Every laugh, every touch, every conversation becomes a once-in-a-lifetime gift. Impermanence doesn't make life meaningless, it makes it luminous. If everything lasted forever, we'd stop noticing. But because it fades, we learn to truly see, to care more deeply, to love without holding back. So tonight, as the world turns quietly and another day begins to fade, remember this: you don't have to hold on so tightly. You were never meant to control the tide, only to trust its rhythm. The art of letting go is not about losing what's precious, but realizing that what's precious can never truly be lost. And if these reflections brought even a moment of calm to your heart, share them. Leave a like, subscribe, and help spread this message of stillness to others wandering through the same restless nights. Because in a world that rushes endlessly forward, sometimes the bravest thing we can do is to stop, breathe, and simply let go.